One thing I want to start with is the rod. For the type of fishing we're doing today, we're going to talk about, we're going to use a rod similar to this. We're looking at light spinning tackle, somewhere in that 8 to 15 pound test range. And what you want to do is you want to match up the rod with the reel size, the reel with the line size, and the line with whatever it is you plan to be casting to the fish for the types of fish you're trying to target. A lot of times that helps you kind of dial in on being able to have the right type of tackle for the type of targeted fish that you're targeting for. Anyway, Kadri, why don't you explain to us a little bit about this rod, about some of the features about it. We talked about how you wanted something light, a spinning rod for what we're doing. Tell us why that works for you when you're fishing at the types of waters we're talking about.
All right, this rod right here, it's an 8 to 15 pound, 7 foot, medium action. You could go with a little bit lighter action, but like Ed said, whether you're fishing on the flats up by the mangroves, you could hook a 2 pound trout or you could hook an 80 pound tarpon. So this 8 to 15 pound rod is pretty much good for no matter what you hook up there. It's a Crowder, 7 foot, Fuji guides on it.
Roz, tell us about these guides here. What's this ring in here?
It's just a regular, this is the Alkanite ring, one of the newer rings. It's supposed to not rust like just the regular.
Like the ceramic and stuff,
ceramic.
like you know the outside rust, but the inside of the ceramic doesn't crack.
Regular ceramic doesn't crack and rust as well. The Alkanites, I've actually got them on one of my rods, and I'm really bad. I don't wash them off. I should. I go fishing, I come home, just throw all my stuff in my room and don't wash them off, but they do hold up very, very well, rather than just a regular ceramic.
That's one thing that you do get. You do get something. Sometimes you might have to. You may pay a little bit more for a rod or something you're looking for, but there's benefits that you get from doing that. So we're just kind of showing you one example of something there. Now let's match that up with the reel. A couple of reels we selected here. We just happen to grab these. We grab these just because I happen to own a lot of Shimano stuff, and I use it. It's been high quality stuff. It takes a beating. I'm not very good at my tackle either, so especially maintenance wise. So it's amazing to me that I keep pulling my rods out of the garage, and when I go fishing, I can't believe they even work. But anyway, they work all the time. But anyway, we're going to show you a couple of these reels that you can set up that match up with this rod. Now, Kadri, can you tell us exactly, like, just talk about the setup itself of how this reel matches up with the rod.
All right. This is Shimano Stratic CI4. It's actually their carbon model. Very, very light when you're fishing inshore. Most of the time you're sight casting sometimes and everything. You want a setup that's really light. And put this together, it's going to be really, really light. When you're looking at a reel and a rod, kind of want them to balance. Put the reel on, hold it like this, see how it balances. And that balance is perfect. You don't want it too tip heavy or too back heavy, or it'll balance like that. So when you're fishing, get a rod that balances perfect, and a reel, it's 90% of the battle.
Also, it holds about the capacity of line and the type of line diameter that you want to use for the types of fishing we're going to be doing. And that's one of those things, that's one of those aspects of this that's pretty important as far as your fishing success is concerned. So if you're going after smaller fish in clear water that have good eyesight, you're using big diameter lines or stuff that's too big, your success rate goes way down because the fish can see the line actually. So you want to make sure that you've got ways that you can, as many ways to fool the fish as you possibly can.
Especially if the water is really clear.
Right.
Very clear.
That's one thing I've learned about covering the Treasure Coast fishing community is, like, I get a lot of complaints from fishermen, and one thing I literally love is I love when they complain about the water being dirty, because we all understand how that affects things. But when they start complaining about the water being clean, that's where I'm like, do we ever not complain about the water around here? I guess. So either way, you've always got some built-in excuse when you're fishing around here as to why you can't catch something.
Right.
Anyway.
But another thing, like Ed was saying about the size of the reel and everything, like you said, you could go with either 3,000 or 4,000, but the 4,000 we sell most of on a rod like this because it's versatile. Like I said, if you hook that 2 pound trout or if you hook that 80 pound tarpon, 4,000 holds a little bit more line, just a little bit safer depending on what you might hook rather than if you had a 3,000 and you hook that big tarpon or something, by the time you get the boat going after him or something, he could have all the line off and jump in and see you later, bye.
Yeah, you might, it's very conceivable to be fishing, 5-6 feet of water and hook a 30-pound jack crevalle, and that thing could take every bit of line on your reel if you can't stop it or slow it down without breaking the line. So those are some of the advantages you want. You want to be able to get that strength and the capacity to allow the fish to be able to play it out properly so that you can catch a larger fish on lighter tackle, which is actually a big thrill because you feel every head shake, every minute of that battle.
And then once you get them up the boat on lighter tackle, you think you've actually done something and the reward's a lot bigger.
Right, exactly.